Okay, guys, I'm here today with Todd Margolis. Huge honor for me. Did I pronounce the name
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
There you go. Guys, Todd is very well known for his shrimp that he developed. And Todd was just telling me the story here about how he developed, and I literally stopped him. I was like, wait a second, this should be in the video. So can you explain again, Todd?
Yeah, so I was, in 2000, I think 2004, I got mounted by Alexandre, right? It was the Gracie Worlds. And I was tired and I couldn't get out, right? And it was horrible. And so like I said, I want to figure out how to make my worst position a better position. There's got to be a better way. So I was talking to Pedro Sauer at a Christmas party, at a family Christmas party, because he moved to Virginia. And then he was telling me that Hickson said that he goes out, why would I put all the weight on the normal shrimp? Why would I put all the weight on this knee and then try to move that knee, right? I want to go out the backside. That's what Pedro told me. So I said, I went back, I was living in South America at the time, and I said, I need to develop, how do I figure this out, right? So I started with some things. So like if you're down, and we start like with the basic knee shrimp, like the old school basic knee shrimp, right? So a lot of times, one of the things that I notice is that people always lift their head off the mat. And good guys will control your head, you put the leg in, they start coming to the back, and this is one problem with it, right? So I said, all right, let me come back and try to work on it. So then I started, sit up for a second. So then I started doing like, all right, I'll bridge. I'm gonna bridge, but I'm pushing, right? So now I'm pushing with both feet to try to move my butt out the other side. And I see guys doing this now. So if they do the bridge, and they give me to the side, but they push and they bring both knees in, right? They're bringing both knees in. The problem with this is that if the guy on top doesn't react, like it's fine. But as soon as I feel you push and you start to get your knees in, if I can long step, right? I can long step, or because now we're getting into some higher level jiu-jitsu. As soon as he pushes and he starts to get that top knee in, I roll and I'm coming to the back, right? So I said, okay, I need to do something about this top leg coming in. And so with that in mind, I said, here, I'll show you. I said, all right, I need to start bridging and pushing off the bottom leg and bringing this top leg up as an anchor behind the person to lock them in. So my head stays on the mat, I bridge, top leg comes up, and usually like wrestlers, we bridge, we don't put our knee down. So I started putting my knee down as a point of leverage and control, and then I slide, and I keep my head on the mat the whole time. I never lift my head off the mat. No matter how much I drill, I never lift my head off the mat. And what you'll see, like if you come on top of me, this knee, I call it like the roller coaster. If you sit in a roller coaster, they put a bar on your waist and they put legs behind you.
Yep.
Now try to step off me.
Yeah, it's hard.
Right?
Yep.
So if I bridge and get your weight on the side and bump you forward now, try to step off.
It's hard.
It's hard.
No, you're
and
right,
that creates an opening. And then I move to perpendicular with my head on the mat.
Got it.
Because it's a parallel position. And the antidote is always perpendicular. It's always the opposite. You try to step off.
There's no way.
Because I have you locked. If my leg is down and you feel it come in here, it's easy to come back. And we're getting into like, folding pass stuff, right?
Yep.
So I said, I need to figure out a way. Boom, bridge, knee comes up. Go ahead, push from there. Go. Whoop, in. Now he might try to come back, but the key is to get this knee pointed up. A lot of guys work with their knee down.
Yep.
It's easy for you to pass there. You push the knee down, you step back over.
Yeah. So basically what you're doing, you create a frame here, stretch your both arms, and then also you bridge.
Always looking over my shoulder to get my hips as far as I can.
Yeah.
And I bump that knee up into the air to bring you forward.
Got it.
I get that weight forward. Now I slide back.
Got it.
Pull the knee in, point the knees to the sky. If you pressure into me, try to pull this knee to the mat, bend it back. I lift.
Got it.
And bring you back, and I'm in my open guard.
Man, very interesting. And so So how you developed that, noticing how almost like a loophole in the regular shrimp, and then you came out of this position?
Correct. So, you know, I just kept improving upon it.
Yeah.
Like figuring one thing out. All right, first I need to bridge a certain way to get my butt to go here. Then it's like, okay, now I need to bridge off my bottom foot. But it's very hard to push off your bottom foot with your knee up.
Got it.
So when I drop the knee, look what that does. It puts me on the ball on my foot.
Got it.
That gives me the ability to push.
Got it.
You can't push off your foot on the heel. You have to get the knee down to shrimp push. And then, like you said, locking these arms down. Now,
yeah, I felt like very good frame from there.
I'll go straight down. Most people try to lift up.
Yeah.
The goal is not to lift up. It's always to push the guy back over me, because your goal is always to come forward, right? It's always to come forward.
Yep.
And so if I'm trying to lift you forward, I'm actually helping you.
Yep.
I'm bringing you forward. But if I bring you down and bring my legs up and then bridge and then bump forward, boom.
Yeah, man, that's very interesting. Oh, Todd, and you have an entire instruction all about the shrimp, right?
Correct.
It's the fundamentals of the shrimp.
Yeah,
And
the
then you
fundamental
show-
shrimping system with the Margolis shrimp.
Good. And then you show how to use the shrimp from other positions besides mount and everything.
Correct. And how those principles will change your game. Like head on the mat.
Good.
Right? That you see a lot of guys, because we've been drilling our shrimp like this for so long,
Yep.
we keep our head off the mat. Well, even the regular shrimp, I never lift my head off the mat.
Good.
Because you need to understand, if my head is off the mat, my feet need to be in front of you.
Good.
If my feet are behind you, right? So if I'm here and I want to shrimp side to side with my head off the mat, no problem. But as soon as my feet are behind you, this is a terrible grip, right? So take your arm out. Let me look at your hand. Now put your hand under my head.
Yeah, it's much harder.
Right? Even go in the low spot on my neck. Under my neck, by my chin. Yeah, see that? See that block?
Yeah.
And while you're reaching there, I'm gonna reconstitute my guard.
Yeah.
So those are little things that'll change your game from different positions and different ways to control.
No, and I love the concepts instead of like the whole technique. So I
Right.
love this concept of keeping the head on the mat and facilitating the shrimp. So that was
And if you think about it, right, from a structural position, this is so interesting, right? When we're in the guard, we're here. When we're wrestling, we're here. Why do we immediately go from here, roll over, and then go here,
that makes sense.
right?
Yeah. So it should be like more like
We preach that structure in every other position,
Got it.
except for when we're mounted.
Got it. No,
Isn't that
makes sense.
amazing?
Yeah. No, that's interesting. Man, thanks for being here, Todd. And guys, make sure to check it out. Todd has an instruction all about shrimp at bjjfanatics.com. So check it out, and thanks so much. Appreciate
Thank you, sir. Listen.
Please help me out to grow my YouTube channel. Just click subscribe. And to watch more videos, just click under see more videos. I hope you enjoyed.
BJJFanatics.com. Use the promo code YouTubeFaria to get 10% off any instructional video. Improve your jiu-jitsu faster.